All right, and today we will start with registering for your Virginia state tax. We have completed the federal state tax ID number. Once you have that number, you should move forward with your state tax registration for that ID, state tax ID. So this is the site here. Again, the website links will be posted in the video description for you to quickly access the link to the website. Again, we're going to start here from the register a business in Virginia. I am in Virginia. That is for my LLC's location. This is for new businesses. You need to get your federal tax number, so make sure you have your federal tax number with you handy, and you should already have your ID number from your LLC being registered with the SEC, which is your certificate. So make sure you have those two documents ready when you're doing your state tax registration ID. So now we're going to register your business now. Click on register your business now. And here we're going to go ahead, and this is where we want to set up our account. So we're going to go ahead and register here where it says, are you a new business? Register here. So we're going to click on that link. We're going to register online. So just follow through here. The first question is your federal tax ID number. So you want to make sure you have it in there. Do not include the dash. Just try writing it straight out. And just to make, want to retype it out again. Make sure you confirm it. Your email address, go ahead and put your personal email address that you have on file that you've been using for the applications. Go ahead and confirm your email address again. Again, continue to use the same email address. Do not try to change up email addresses here and there. Go ahead and create a user ID. And go ahead and create a password. It provides you the requirements there for a password. And then go ahead and confirm your password. Click on next. Now it's asking for the business address, so go ahead and put your home address or the address you've been using for on file for your business. For mailing address, you can just check on the box, which should be the same as your business address. Click on next. Make sure you do not check that box for international address. This should be an address within the state, which should be the address on file that you've been using for your applications. So there you want to confirm your federal ID number at the top, just to make sure that's the right federal ID number. I have confirmed. Your type of entity. This is where we're going to select sole proprietary type entity here. And this is only for tax purposes, because this is the state taxes that we can scale through on probably more benefits um, being noted in the state tax system as sole proprietary, whereas in the federal tax system, it is easier to get by in taxes by the LLC. So for here, on this option, instead of choosing the LLC reporting as a corporation, we are going to use the sole proprietary tax option here. So that way we can still continue to be taxed a little different on the state level. Because being taxed on the state level, whereas a corporation, LLC, there could be more restrictions and more things that we would have to get through. So this would be the better option for tax purposes. Again, this is only for your state tax. So for state tax purposes, we can choose sole proprietary as reporting to the state tax. We are registered as a LLC, limited liability company. That is the registration of the business. But for tax purposes, for federal tax purposes, it is better to be noted as a LLC. For state tax purposes, it will be better to be noted as a sole proprietary. This is only for tax purposes. Select the option sole proprietary and click on next. Here is going to be your information, and this is where we're going to put in the owner's social security number for this information here. For trading as name, this is where we're going to put the name of the business that we have registered. Here for our code, we're going to go ahead and click on the link for your code. And you should already have this information. I will also have this link in the description. This is how we're going to code our business. So you want to go through and select the area for your business. Again, for me, I am under professional services. So I'm going with sector 5-4. And to not limit myself, do not limit your business. Always go with broad categories just to leave yourself room for expanding. And here I want to select anything that's just not within a limited structure. So as you can see down here at the bottom, there is room for all other services. And that's what I am going with here. All other services, the last one at the bottom. And that's what I want to use for my area. Again, it goes into a little more detail to gear you down into your exact services. But again, you can keep it to a broadened category. So this is going to be my code here. Copy your code. Go back to your registration form. And your code there. And as long as you're not selling food or operating as a restaurant, do not check this box. If you don't have anything to do with food, do not check that box there. For primary contact, you want to put your first name and your last name. For email address, you want to put your personal email address. For phone number, you want to use your business phone number that you should have gotten created from the Google Voice. And you can leave the fax number field blank. Click on next. Make sure you review your information, which is your social security number, your information you're filing as a sole proprietary. You got your trading name. You got your code for your business. You have your business address. Make sure you have your mailing address on there as well. Click on continue. For your tax liabilities, this is where you want to select all taxes for which the business is liable. We want to review each tax to determine which one applies to the business. So right now the only one we should be having is just employer withholding tax, as well as looks like just employer withholding tax. That will be the only tax that we should be dealing with regarding what we should be doing with the business. Again, this will be for anything you're doing outside of service. These are the box for employer withholding tax. Click next. Effective date became liable for employer withholding tax, and we can go off 3 months in advance. So let's push this out for 3 months to give yourself time. You can also make changes later by in the system or contacting the state tax department. So right now I have July. I'm going 3 months out: August, September, October. So I'm going to go with October. So make sure you keep it down at 3 months. Select your less than $100 per month, and then select your months your business will operate. Again, I recommend that you check the box for seasonal and select months that you plan to just be in business. Again, this is good for state tax purposes. We are only doing state tax purposes. So these are options that are available to us as small business owners when you start your business. So because we are starting in the beginning, it will be best to do seasonal and just operate during certain months and see how you are getting money and revenue in your company. Click on next. The next question: do you want to use the mailing address for your withholding tax information? And that should be the address you have on file. You want to make sure it's marked yes. Click on next. For your do you want to use the primary contact for your employer withholding tax, you want to make sure that's yes. Confirm your name, phone number, and your personal email. Here I'm going to change this information. I'm going to say let's change this to your business name, along with your business phone number, and using your business email address. And this is regarding the employer withholding tax for your state tax. I'm suggesting to go with the business name just to try to get and keep those tax informations under the business name. That way you can keep things a little bit separate there as you're going through your taxes. Should be a little bit easier to understand what do you have as a W-2 compared to anything that you have under your business name. So click on next. Go ahead and click on withholding tax. Here you have to review your information. Again, this should be the 3 months out. Should have the less than 100. Should be the no for pensions. Should be the months you selected to operate. You should have your mailing address for your company. The person to contact for employer withholding tax should be the name of your business, along with your business phone number, along with your business email address. Click on approve. And go ahead and make sure the box is checked as reviewed, and then click on submit. And now you have a confirmation number, and now you have a state employer withholding tax ID number. Here at the end, with the tax types you checked, you want to make sure you check that box for yes, and then clicking on next. But for me, make sure you print out these records. Make sure you get the PDF for your employer withholding tax, because this information you will need later on for tax purposes of state taxes. Make sure you check the box for yes, so you can receive emails regarding your registration and reminders and times to refile and pay your updates or do any updates of that sort. So make sure you print this page. Make sure you click on the PDF and print that out. Make sure you check the boxes yes, and then click on next as well. Check that box for yes. Make sure you type in your business email address. And then you retype, confirm your business email address again. And make sure to click on next. And registration now. Click on that link, continue your registration now. Here is the for our state of Virginia is our employment system, and here is where you can have your new employer information set up within their system. So you want to click on new employer registration. You want to go down to the bottom and click on the register now button. And here you want to add your federal tax ID number, so you want to make sure that's in there. And then click on continue. That pertain, that apply to the business. So this business is the result of a merger or acquisition. This business is a professional employer organization. Do not check any of those boxes. Please select one of the following employment types. General employment, we would say yes. Household domestic, no. Nonprofit employment, no. Agriculture employer, no. Political subdivision, no. Date of first employment in Virginia. And this is where we can use today's date, so you can click on current and today's date will be there. So go ahead and just select today's date as first employment. Click on continue. Is the business subject to federal unemployment tax in another state? Make sure that option is no. Click on continue. Has the business had a total payroll of $1,500 in more than any calendar quarter during the current or preceding calendar years? Select no. Click on continue. Has the business had one or more employees any part of the day in the different weeks during the current or 3 preceding calendar years? Select that as no. And what year did the business have a worker for 20 or more different weeks? And here you can leave blank, and the other one you can leave blank, and just make sure the first option is no. Continue. So at this time, we're not liable for unemployment tax, and that's just to let us know that we do not have to pay unemployment tax at this time. So I also recommend printing out that screen there. It should now have completed our registration to your profile by clicking on the ESS link in the far left. And just to see your information there and confirm that there is no unemployment tax that is due. And you can also print this screen as well. I recommend printing that up for your records. Click on home and click on logout. You want to save this page. You have now registered your business for the state tax.